You're quite good at this sort of thing, but I'd like to give it a shot if that's all right with you.
Go for it. I'll join you at the end.
Hello, we're The Darkness, and this is Records in My Life.
His life and yours.
Let's go back to the beginning days on a not such a serious note, but what albums were inspiring you guys when you...
You mean as kids, do you mean? Or
when you were younger, when you decided you wanted to start playing rock and roll?
Well, I'll tell you what, the
band?
groundwork went in with my dad's record collection, really, which became ours, didn't it, really? Because you do that, you pick through the stuff that you like, and certain things just catch your ear. And he was a big Pink Floyd, Bowie, T-Rex, Beatles, all the good stuff.
Rolling Stones.
And very importantly, Queen were a really big influence, and he had a couple of really great Queen albums.
Yeah, jazz and Night at the Opera were the two biggies, weren't they?
Night at the Opera, yeah, well, that was a big one for me. Like
A Night at the Opera.
And I think jazz is probably my favourite one as well. So maybe you earmarked Night at the Opera and I took jazz.
That's exactly what happened, yeah. I guess he gave me the best of Thin Lizzy on cassette as well, which is quite informing, really. I like the sound of those guitars.
Huey Lewis in the News, 4, Europe Final Countdown, Run DMC, Raising Hell.
That's where you learned to rap.
Can you do some rapping for us?
I can bust some rhymes if you would like. J to the U to the S to the T. Rapping. You don't associate that with me, but I do it occasionally, because rap is good.
That's really, really good. I didn't realize you guys did this whole R&B rap thing.
It's not R&B, it's R or B. We choose one or the other. Roots or blues.
Can we touch back on Queen for
sure. By all means, let's talk about Queen.
Well, there's a couple of...
Oral B.
Yeah. So what other than Rufus, what's the big influence on the band besides Rufus's connection,
Queen.
obviously?
Another one.
Sheer Heart Attack is probably my favourite Queen album as an adult. You know, I mean, obviously the sounds of jazz permeated up through the house when Mum and Dad were having their parties. Because I think there's some big sort of party smashes on there. Fat Bottom Girls, even Mustafa, I think, was popular, and all that stuff's brilliant. When you've got parents that party.
I think Mustafa is actually informed. Like there's a mystical Eastern element to what we do as well.
Yesterday, I was when we played in Seattle. I was using my clairvoyance technique to divine people's names from them, and I got 2 spot on. Colin and Michael.
That is actually.
When I got Colin, Rufus went, "Fuck off," because he was so astonished by the accuracy of my name divining technique.
I'm still not sure how that happened. But
the second one was the weirdest one because I just looked at him and went, "Michael," and then him and his friends just started screaming.
Is this on the up and up, or are you having are you taking the
I think it's because when you're on stage, you're in the zone. You know what I mean? You're on the vibe. You're surrendering to this energy of the room, and you can pull things like that out. And I'm sure that's how professional soothsayers do it. I mean, they're just in the vibe. They're on the vibe or on the vibration.
But if you are going to sort of trace it back, it does come back to Mustafa
by Queen. That's the soundtrack to my mind reading skills, I think.
You guys are all fine-looking lads. Can you give us a good date night record?
Frankie's good at date night records because every night's date night with Frankie at home on his own. It's
very hard to beat Marvin Gaye, you know, but maybe not the obvious one. Maybe not. Let's Get On. Maybe Here, My Dear. That's bittersweet, and bittersweet is if you try and kind of make it too sugary sweet, it's like you're patronising them, you know.
For me, date night record would be Rick James' Street Songs.
Heaven or Las Vegas, Cocteau Twins.
Nice.
That's me. It's me done.
Sam Cooke or Van Morrison. Astral Weeks. It's one of my favourite
Good
albums
one.
ever. That one.
Good one. And now, is there a record you couldn't live without?
Led Zeppelin 1, 2, 3, 4, Houses of the Holy, and Physical Graffiti. Or basically the anthology of recorded works that were released whilst all members were living. I think that'd be, if there was an album such as that, I think that would be the one.
Now, I got to ask you a candid question. I read, I don't know, the internet sometimes is not always 100% accurate, but there was a story involving Steven Tyler's pants.
The internet? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
There's a story involving Steven Tyler's pants. And whether it's true or not,
What is it?
what's
What's the story? No, I want to hear this story.
the story is? Well, apparently Steven Tyler's pants had disappeared. You guys were playing a show with Aerosmith or something, and his spandex pants had disappeared.
Well, the problem
No,
is
they
that
came to visit. That we have never played with Aerosmith, unfortunately. So the
Okay.
internet is mistaken. There was an incident. No, there was an occasion when Steven Tyler came to see us play
Right.
in Atlanta
Yeah.
a few years ago, and he was awesome. And it was in the days of the clamshell telephone. He had like a holster on his belt, which the clamshell phone would go in, and he gave me his phone number and said, "You can call me anytime. The phone's always right here." And just pointed at the clamshell thing, which was life-changing, actually. I did call him on it as well, and he did answer it, because it was right there. Because I was later asked to narrate a documentary that the BBC had done about Steven Tyler and his life, and there was some stuff in there that was very personal, even more personal than where he keeps his clamshell. And so I phoned him up to see if he was comfortable with that being in it, and he said no, so I refused to do the gig. The money wasn't up to much anyway, so I was hoping he would say he wasn't happy. So,
Is there?
but I love Steven Tyler, and I would steal any one of his garments and wear it. I'd probably wear his skin if there was a way of extracting that humanely. Probably.
So the internet's definitely wrong.
The internet's wrong about that. I mean,
no,
not for want of trying, but we haven't had the opportunity. We have the motive, but not the means or opportunity. So. You do the maths.
Is there a favorite Aerosmith album?
Favorite Aerosmith album? Oh, that's difficult. For me, I love the stuff after the reformation, particularly Permanent Vacation and Pump. If I have to be honest, Pump is probably the album that I listen to the most. It was the soundtrack to me being 14 and really getting into wanting to be a musician. And Pump's just a great record. Everything on there sounds amazing. Really great songs. He's in sparkling form on that album. I really love 9 Lives as well, but Pump's my favourite probably.
Pump's my favourite too. Mike Fraser, who's a Vancouver resident, worked on that album, didn't he? I think he engineered and mixed it.
Right.
What an amazing sounding record.
It's Bruce Fairbairn who
he
produced
it, but Mike Fraser was there overseeing everything and mixed it, and just the sound of that record is absolutely insane.
And there's lots of little miniature pieces of music that in between, like segue pieces that would, not everybody. We always say we want to do that, but you never get around to it when you're making an album. And they've took the trouble to do that in a time when it really was an effort to record such things.
One of the greatest album
it's an
covers
inspiring
as well, isn't it?
It's the 2 trucks,
Just
and one of them has Pump written on top of it.
Let's flash forward to today. Is there a young band from the UK which you guys are really enjoying?
Yeah, there's a spunky quartet called The Darkness that I think you should probably have a listen
Hey, I've
to.
heard those cats are pretty cool.
From what I can gather, they're on their 5th album. They're still 28 years old in their hearts.
Only on their 5th album. God, Rolling Stones were unknown on their 4th.